Well, greetings, this is Trev from onlinepclearning.com. We've been dealing with input boxes, and I'm going to show you now how to use an input box. There was some information on the website about a login form, how to record user details and the time that they logged in. I'm actually going to show you how to use that in an application to put a security level on your file to stop people logging in unless they have the right password, and then to record who it is and what time it was that they logged in. So let's open up the file and I'll show you what happens if someone logs in and they don't have the right password. So someone logs in, it says add your code name, you have 3 attempts. So they go in and put in an erroneous piece of code, it says you're not authorized, we'll put in another erroneous name, you're not authorized again, 3rd attempt, you're not authorized, and it shuts the file down without saving it. That's the level of security. We'll open it again, and this time we're going to use a user that is in our list. Here's the list here. Now this list can be as long as you want, and of course you wouldn't have it where people could see it, but this is just to demonstrate. So we're going to log in and we'll use one of the names on here. We'll choose Harry and choose OK. So immediately it says welcome Harry, puts his name over here and the date and time that he logged in. Okay. Now, I'll put this workbook up on the website, I think, for you to download, but just a little information about it. The formatting in here would be special formatting, custom formatting. It's day, month, year, and then hour and minute. That's in this column B, and over here in column E, we have attempts, and of course, we have 0, and as soon as you come in, it's 1, 2, and 3 attempts. Let's have a look at the code running it. So hit Alt and F11 to open the Visual Basic Editor. I'll expand this fully to cover the screen. So first of all, we'll go to this workbook. And in this workbook, then the workbook open event, you'll notice that I have 2 things. One is calling the macro login check, and secondly is clearing a value, that attempt value in range E2 on that sheet and making it 0. Now, if you're not sure how to get the workbook open event, you would go in here, make sure you choose workbook, and over here to the right from the available events that are there for the workbook, or this workbook, you would choose open and then put this piece of code in there. The rest of the code is in a module. Now, if you've been doing the tutorials on the input box, a lot of this will be very familiar to you. We're dimming the 3 variables involved. We're making sure that we have a variable set for our input box. Here's the input box here. NME equals application input box. And it's saying add your login code name. You have 3 attempts, type 2 is text. If you wanted to just put numbers there, you could make this type 1, I think it is, for numbers. All right, well let's look. Now all we're doing is setting a variable for auto equals 0, and then a loop. Now we're looping through the range. This range here, D2 to D14, is in fact, I'll just move this over, is in fact this range through here. That's the range there. So if you wanted to add 100 names in, well then all you would do is expand this to code, D2 to D14. Now you could put a dynamic named range in there and just type the dynamic named range in here between the double quotes, and that will work fine as well. It's up to you. What this does is loops through that range to see if the information you put in the input box lines up with any of the values in that range. And if it does, it logs you in and gives you a message that says welcome and then the name that you're logged in with. And it just keeps going through that list until it finds if you're there. If you're not there, then it runs a checker down the bottom here. It says if the check is 3, well then close the workbook and don't save it. Otherwise, give the person another attempt and run the macro again. Take the time to read through this carefully and make sure you set it up exactly as I have it here, or you can find that you can open the workbook and it'll just keep repeating itself and you won't be able to close it. Alright, that's the information you'd use. It's a simple login. Yes, I know there are some limitations with it, but look, it's using an input box to its fullest advantages. It will set a level of protection there on your workbook, and it saves a lot of complicated code. To do anything more complex than this, you would need to use a user form, and set up a user form to do it. That's not all that difficult, but seeing as we're dealing with input boxes, I thought this is a great little opportunity to show you how to use an input box to set an authority level and record who's logging in and the time they're logging into your workbook. This is Trev from Online PC Learning. Thank you very much for joining me, and bye for now.